P. Diddy, guilty on 2 of the 5 charges. I'm going to bring you
Raw, uncut, and unfiltered macaroni. Big Tony Jones back at it. Y'all know what time it is. It's Thursday, and yesterday was a monster. Oh my God. Yeah. Y'all know since the beginning of the trial, I was on it. We was on it, family. I remember when I first started doing the nightly lives, we would have the conversations. We was actually looking at the actual trial transcripts. You understand? Night after night after night. Till the shit got boring and we realized quickly, this shit is nothing but some bondoodle, you know what I'm saying, Mickey Mouse bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? I already assessed. There's no way that Diddy was going to be guilty on all charges. What do we have today? The boy did it. The diddler. Strikes again. Diddy Puff did it. Y'all know what time it is, man. All right. Thursday afternoon, wherever you are in the world, I appreciate y'all tuning in. You know what I'm talking about? For all my partners, for all my sisters and my homegirls in the chat. Throw a rose emoji in the chat for yourself if you're feeling good, feeling great. And my player partners, my partner players, go ahead and throw a salute emoji in the chat if you're feeling good, feeling great. Thursday afternoon, I appreciate y'all. Let's get down to the smoke.
The breakdown of the verdict, provide some context to the verdict and what this means for his future. Here it is.
Have the first verdict on count 1, racketeering.
Hold on a second, y'all. My monitor here off. What the hell's going on?
Conspiracy. How do you find the defendant not guilty? And so now they'll move on to count 2. Count 2, how do you find the defendant not guilty? That is the sex trafficking of Cassandra Ventura. On count 3.
1 second, my monitor's behind y'all. All right, count 2. So we got 2 not guilties. Racketeering, one of the biggest charges, not guilty. All right, sex trafficking of, what's her name there? Cassie? Yeah, not guilty. Yeah.
Which is Mann Act transportation involving Cassie Ventura, guilty. Count 4, sex trafficking of Jane, not guilty. Count 5, Mann Act transportation of Jane, guilty. So, mix.
Yo, I don't mean to poke fun, but do you know that Jane is what's part of 50 Cent baby mama? Sometimes you can't be fucking with other niggas' girls and shit. You know what I'm talking about? It might end up in these situations. You know what I'm talking about? But goddamn, let's continue. Hold up now.
Next verdict here. Not guilty on 3 of the charges, guilty on 2 of the charges.
Now, what does this mean as far as sentencing is concerned? Because that's the biggie. And also, how does this break down as far as believability of those who testified in the Diddy trial? We'll get into that. Here's some of it.
I'm not even sure if I would say there would be an appeal, because for Sean Combs and his defense team, this is a massive win. 3 of the counts that had a life sentence possibility are gone. When it comes to transportation to engage in prostitution, the minimum is nothing. There's a theoretical possibility that he walks out on probation. Now, do I think that's going to happen? No, but the max is 10 years. Even if you were to take both sentences, and he's not going to get 10 years.
I mean, let's be honest though. We all saw the case. We all saw the trial. All right. Cassie was highly invested in the freak-offs. She was requesting them. She was sending texts how much she liked them. She was asking for urination across the nation. That you want a man to piss in her mouth. I'm sorry being so graphic, but that's what she was saying. Not me. What she was saying. So we done heard from the Punisher and Rico. We done heard from these niggas. They done told us what it was. That is not illegal. That's a swinger lifestyle. That's swinging. You know what I'm saying? That's to each his own. Now, where he gets fucked up, yeah, you can't be transporting big women for, you know what I mean, for your sexual pleasures. But here's my thing, though. If Diddy's getting charged and found guilty for transporting the broads, aren't the broads considered prostitute? Shouldn't they get arrested too? Because they was engaged and knew exactly what they was doing for the money. Shouldn't they be considered prostitute? I'm just saying.
They're going to look at his criminal history, mitigating circumstances, aggravating circumstances. And I would assume that he gets somewhere in the middle ground, maybe like 3 to 5 years, 3 to 6 years, possible through that sentencing range for each count. Sean Combs going to trial where he was facing life and being able to walk out with something under 10 years, well under 10 years possibly, that is a victory.
You know, a lot of people have commented on this case. We've talked about it on Indisputable. And I remember when Waz, who is a go-to sports guy and understands entertainment, said something in reference to this case that struck me. And I'm going to talk about it while we break down what this possibly will mean. And it goes to strategy of the prosecutor. So the jury's verdict delivered on the third day of deliberations, declared Combs, who's 55, not guilty on 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, but guilty of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Now, this means that the jury,
if he's guilty on 2 counts of engaging in prostitution, then what does that say about the women? Will they not be considered prostitute? I'm just saying, it don't make sense to me. I can't fake the funk for myself, but I can't help to feel like Puffy got coerced. And I'm not even a Puffy fan. I'm not saying that. All right? The man, yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
based on the verdict, they did not buy that individuals who claimed that Diddy was controlling them. The jury has determined that they were more so an accomplice than being controlled by Diddy. I'm just breaking down what the jury has determined based on the verdict. There's more. At sentencing, the prostitution transportation charge carries a maximum of 10 years in prison per count. Prosecutor Maureen Comey said they will seek the maximum of 20 years in total. Combs could have faced a life in prison sentence if found guilty of the most serious charges. After the verdict was read, he put his hands in prayer to give thanks to the jury. Once the full verdict was read, he also fell to his knees with his head in a chair.
Puffy got off of the racketeering. I think that was probably his biggest issue. He had to get off the racketeering. You know what I'm saying? There's no coercion in that. I think the jury could not figure out. Cassie and the other one, the Jane Doe, whatever, they were participants. That's what they calculate. They're participants. You know what I'm saying? We cannot act like they were coerced. They might have been. Cassie's a user. You know what I'm saying? The niggas paying your rent, paying your bills, taking care of shit. And then you was indulging. That's what it is. Let's call it what it is. I spade a spade and a crocodile. You was indulging. That's all I got to say.
Praying as his family clapped and cheered. All right. NBC News reports Combs' lead attorney posed the question, asked U.S. District Judge to release him from federal detention, where he has been
Hold on, my monitor here,
for nearly a year. He also asked for him to be released on conditions to his home in Miami and offered a $1 million bond. Subramanian said he would review.
All right, y'all heard the $1 million bond. I'm gonna hold on. Let me fast forward over here so we can get to the part that I gotta get to. Okay, where we at? It's gonna start right. All right, cool. 11:41. Okay, hold on. Let me get to that spot. All right, hold on. Boy, I think they got ahead of themselves with the bond situation. They got ahead of themselves.
Bench denied bail right away, and I had a literal front row seat with a clear view of Combs. His eyes widened.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Mouth open. He looked at his attorney. He appeared to be in shock. I think they were in there thinking he was going to walk out that door today.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. Let's talk about the Diddy case.
Man, hold on a second. Y'all give me a second. Hold on. I don't know if it's me or the video, but if it sounds like it's skipping on my side. Hold on, family. Hold on, family. Let me make sure I got this right. All right, there we go. God damn. All right.
If those of you who are
LeBron said ain't no party like a Diddy party. Sorry, man. I don't know. My mind over here giving me technical difficulties. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Diddy didn't get no bonds. They offered $1 million, but said no. So you could be a flight risk. So you might just take off on us. You might just, we don't know. Right? LeBron said ain't no party like a Diddy party. Y'all remember when he said that? Yo, but my boy Officer Tatum got some very, very good insight on the situation. All right, so we got to dig deep. We got, because listen, it's two sides to every story now. You know what I'm saying? Some folks ain't happy that Diddy home. Some folks ain't happy, or like that he damn near beat the case. You know what I'm talking about?
following it, I wasn't following it because I already knew what the expected outcome was going to be. The dude got money, just like OJ and these other people. You got money, bro, you're going to beat the case. Or you're going to do very well in the case. You're not going to do life in prison and you Diddy. It's just not going to happen. So did I follow it? No. I knew he was a dirtbag from all of that nasty freak off stuff he was doing. And you got TD Jakes and these other celebrities.
One of the pictures that I grabbed.
Now, TD Jakes. Hold on a second. Because you heard the man say TD Jakes. I don't know why my mind to keep doing this goddamn shit over here. Hold on. Where's TD Jakes? Because some of these folks in Hollywood, man, some of these folks, look, it gets back. All right, so from Diddy, I'm cutting to TD Jakes. We're going to go back. Because this is the kind of stuff that these folks is into. All right, hold on.
You actually can see the timestamp. And you can actually see where he says that I am thinking of you. Here we go.
Hey, yo. He actually got messages. This is a screenshot. And it says that the date on this is 2016. So this is before everybody, this is when screenshots was pretty new, technology-wise. And it shows a message thread. And this message was sent at—
Y'all tell me if it sounds chippy, man. Let me know if it sounds chippy on y'all side, because it sounds chippy in my ears, man.
2:33 in the morning. Why is Bishop TD Jakes texting another—
2:33 in the morning, TD Jakes is sending messages to players. Yo, we can't think. Listen, man, I'm just saying, this shit, everybody's coming to light. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's coming to light. And it don't look good for the Gospels.
man or anybody at 2:33 in the morning. I don't know, but they must have went into their iCloud and pulled up all these messages from TD Jakes.
May the 26th, 2016 at 2:33 a.m. I looked at that picture.
He sent TD Jakes sent the picture, and the text under the picture said, "Thinking of you." What? At 2:33 a.m.? Why are you thinking of me?
I said, this is like deja vu. Because that's the same thing Eddie did, flexing, and was in the exact same color shirt. I said, now wait. This cannot be a repeat. Let me look closer. And I saw where he was squeezing his fist, flexing. You can see it even in his face.
That's comedy. Said he was squeezing his fist, flexing, because he want to look good as possible for this dude that he's sending the picture to.
And trying to sit his—
Y'all believe this cornball shit? This is the stuff that the pastor's doing, and you're standing outside, and you're in front of the congregation talking about all kind of willy-nilly, and then here you are, you see, you're messing in your grown-ass man. Explain to me, when or where it says this is okay in the doctrine of the Bible. And that's all I want to know. I'm not saying nay or hey. I just want to know the answer. That's it.
His chest up and said, I'm thinking of you. I said, this is
Crazy.
the exact same kind of going on, if you want to believe
what's going on with his ear.
That's what Eddie Long was doing. If you're going to believe that's what
Eddie Long is another pastor. I believe he was accused of being homosexual. Eddie Long is the one that Cat Williams was like, Eddie Long out here with booty on his breath. Remember Cat Williams said that about Eddie Long? I'm just
Eddie Long, I don't even know who these pastors are. But it seemed like they all, when I saw TD Jakes at the Diddy party, or not, well, associated with Diddy, I said, okay, there's some stuff going on here. As a pastor, why are you cool with these type of individuals? You know what I'm saying? Like they should be considered a no-flying zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you stay over there, we over here. That's what I would assume.
saying, Eddie Long, if you're gonna preach the gospel with booty on your breath, I think ain't that what Cat Williams said about Pastor Eddie Long? Because he was accused of being homosexual. Let's see what he says.
Eddie Long was doing. You can't help but believe that's what Bishop T.D. Jakes was doing. It's the exact same play. I'm thinking of you at 2:33
in the morning.
Am I saying that Bishop T.D. Jakes should be thrown away? Hell no.
What?
The contributions that this man has made, you can't, come on. But what I am saying is that you and I can love Bishop T.D. Jakes.
No.
And at the same time, say what the hell we think or call out a wrong thing.
Now, all right. I'm just saying, right? We can't forget shit like that with your role, with the role that you have in society. How the hell are we allowing? And then you on TV, was Ellen DeGeneres or what? I don't know what the fuck show this is, man. But God damn it.
Okay, listen, I had to slow this thing down because I was like, man, I know I'm not tripping. I'm like, it's TD Jakes the Pounder, man. His hand is in his pocket and the movement he got going on.
Hey, yo, TD hand in his pocket look like he... You can't fake the funk, man. Sometimes you forget the cameras is rolling from all different type of angles and shit. All right? But we can clearly see that the TG getting some kind of excitement. What, TD? Yeah, TD getting some kind of excitement from himself. This is not, but first of all, it's not pastor behavior. Second of all, why is this person in your presence, this officer who's clearly from the other side of town?
Like, is he really getting excited about this? Like, nah, bro, tell me it ain't so. Tell me it ain't so. But, hey, my judge, allegedly, whatever the case that came out, I mean, it don't come out, but you can look at it yourself.
Where among those who have filed affidavits in support of Youngblood, somebody who also had a story saying that TD Jakes basically was, trying to SA this particular other pastor called Youngblood, there is somebody else coming forward as of last week. His name is Timothy Anderson and he is 57 years old and he resides in Florida. He claims that he shared a room with Youngblood when they both attended a conference Jakes was hosting in 1996. And basically TD Jakes is facing new explosive gay sex SA allegations. Timothy Anderson said that Jakes had just asked him to move to Dallas to serve as a youth pastor, and he shared that request with Youngblood, whom he knew through the Higher Ground Always Abounding organization where he served as a youth evangelist. But during the conference, Youngblood warned him to be careful of unwanted advances from TD Jakes as he shared what he allegedly experienced according to the affidavits obtained by the Christian Post. Still, Timothy Anderson said the chance to work for TD Jakes felt like a dream, an opportunity of a lifetime, and he launched at the opportunity. Even though he would make 1/3 of the salary he was netting as an evangelist, the fact that he just wanted to work with TD Jakes was just an absolute dream for him.
Going to his parties and look crazy.
Look here, man. This is how people get set up and then turn around and say, oh, I was assaulted. Your player told you this is what's going to happen or might happen if you cross over this line. You chose to cross over the line. Shut your goddamn mouth after that. That's my opinion. You can't just, when you're knowing the danger, knowing the situation, you're still gonna go participate and then turn around and complain later. No, sucker. No, you can't do that shit. That's not fair.
And all these fake Christians, in my personal opinion. So that's the only thing that really bothered me was the people that were engaged in things that he was doing knowingly and intentionally, and they supposed to be people who are upholding the standard for the Lord Jesus. But all this other stuff, and I said it before, all this other stuff is par for the course for somebody like him. Now, I will say, people got mad at me for talking about Cassie. Look, man, women, and I wrote this in my little op-ed that I did on my Substack. So just so y'all don't follow me on Substack, go follow my Substack and look at the article that I wrote. Because women got to also stop compromising on their morals for fame, fortune, and an accelerated career. Diddy was a nut when Cassie met him. Diddy was a nut after they were together for several years. He was an abusive person before Cassie met him, and she knew he was. Now, she was young, and he may have manipulated her, but at the end.
Look here. That's where I was going with it. I not guilty on 3 of the 5 counts. Guilty on the lesser charges. You know, I'm talking about transporting bras for your entertainment. But if they prostitutes, and it's called prostitution, I got to know why. They ain't getting arrested neither for being prostitute. Y'all got to let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Y'all got to let me know what y'all thinking, family, because I don't understand it. I can't seem to wrap my finger around it. A Puffy ain't getting no bond, which means he's going to do some jail time, maybe some time served. But we're going to step today on the situation because y'all know how we do it. You know what I'm talking about? And as always, let me know what country, what state, what province, what street corner, what penthouse in the sky you checking in from, because we worldwide, baby, and it's nothing but love.